Now that we were talking about Trump and we were talking about immigration, it's a hot topic defined when we talk about H1B, the visa that has been abused in so many ways in the United States by companies to bring, well, let's say, cheap labor and to displace American workers. This is not a secret to anybody, And this was, a very heavy discussion at the end of last year. And in fact, Vivek Ramaswamy got a lot of flack about that. So once Trump gets actual questions from the press, and one of the questions is about H1B, this was his answer. So let's take a look at his answer so we can assess his words and what is his actual opinion about the H1B visas.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, there's been some debate within your orbit over whether or not to keep or eliminate H-1B visas. What's your position on that? Do you want to keep H-1Bs or do you want to get rid of them?
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people.
Okay, I like both sides of the argument. This is the first thing that you say just to make sure to, okay, let's bring down the heat a bit. Like both sides, both who are in favor of and who are against, both of them have some kind of being right. That's what Trump is implying with that. Let's listen until the end, and I will analyze the whole thing.
H-1Bs or do you want to get rid of them?
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people coming into our country, even if that involves them training and helping other people that may not have the qualifications they do. But I don't want to stop. And I'm not just talking about engineers. I'm talking about people at all levels. We want competent people coming into our country. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high quality waiters. You got to get the best people. Now, then you go into people like Larry, and he needs engineers, and Massa needs, and this gentleman needs engineers like nobody's ever needed engineers, right? So we have to have the quality people coming in. Now, by doing that, we're expanding businesses, and that takes care of everybody. So I'm sort of on both sides of the argument, but what I really do feel is that we have to let really competent people.
So let me get it straight, and I have to ask a question. I would like to ask a question directly to President Trump. Why would you need high quality waiters coming from abroad? Okay, can't you? I don't know. This is a question. I have never been a waiter. I don't know if I would have the thumb strength to be able to carry all those platters and have the equilibrium and the balance and the stuff. But can't you have high quality waiters? Let's talk about waiters inside the United States. You have to talk about wine experts and high quality waiters, and use specifically those examples when talking about H1B visas. My question is a legit question. Can't you find them inside the United States? Are there any Americans willing to, maybe fire up YouTube? How do become how do I practice to be a waiter? Oh, you get yourself a platter like this, put some stuff, and try to walk without anything falling down. There should be a science to that. But when we jump into engineers, that is the actual thing that we should be talking about. Economists nowadays worldwide are about knowledge economies. Even more so, we're talking about an era of AI. Now, the era of AI, counterintuitively, we need better and better engineers. And this is always my vision. I see the world as a brain marketplace. Like, brilliant minds go where they are better treated. So no matter where you are born, if you're a brilliant mind, and no matter your field, I don't think that waiters. I have to say that I don't think that waiters enter in the field of knowledge economy. It's more like a practical thing. Okay, it's not that much of the knowledge, but the practical thing that they do. But in terms of engineers, yeah, you want the best of the world. Maybe you can leave the discussion at the engineering level and say we need to bring the best engineers, but it's undeniable after all that was unearthed on December about how the H1B visas have been abused. No, the United States is not bringing the best, only the best engineers. The United States is importing anybody who can be exploited and for cheaper because they depend on that H1B. That is a reality. I made a video about that. It's this conflict of interest. If you're bringing people who locals, Americans, have to train them. You have to train them to do their jobs. And these people who come from abroad, they depend on that, on their job to stay in the United States and maybe to bring, to send money home. And that conflict of interest makes that, well, if you're their boss, then you know that you can make them, you can push them a little harder. You can suggest that they keep working on weekends for the same pay. I don't know if that's legal, but you know how it is. You can make them work harder and push them harder because they have no other option. That causes this conflict of interest. That's what I'm worried about. And Trump talks about waiters and wine experts. I don't know. That was I think that was a bit misleading. I think that until the dust settles in the other topics, this topic is going to be brought again at some point. This topic is going to be brought again. My guess, he's trying to be ambiguous. The waiter, the high-skill waiter, is a bit disconcerting. I wouldn't be surprised that the waiter part could be let's say done by robots at some point. I don't know, but maybe the suggestion, maybe the human part, maybe the human interaction that's not gonna go anytime soon. But it was a bad comparison. If you leave the conversation at the knowledge economy level, I'm game. We need every country needs the best minds to improve because every economy right now is knowledge economy. It's not like, oh yeah, we have a lot of cobalt or we have a lot of oil. Okay, very good, but it doesn't cut it. It is not enough anymore. You need minds. You need brilliant minds. And yeah, if your country, you have a brilliant mind, I absolutely defend this. If you are in your country, any country, you're a brilliant mind. You know your skills, and you know that you cannot use your skills at full throttle, at full speed, at full capacity. Then you absolutely must go to a country that welcomes you and your abilities and your skills. And if it's done legally, so be it. The discussion here is, are they going to displace jobs that Americans could do? That is the big question here. But I would like to know, as usual, what do you think about this in the comments. I know for a fact that this is not the last time we're going to be talking about H1B visas, but my hunch is that Trump wanted to be a bit ambiguous about the answer until they reach an actual consensus about that. Maybe that is not a priority. And I can understand with so many things happening, but again, you have the final say. Let me see your live chat